I'm sitting with my good friend, a legend, our member of the legislature, our Minister of Energy in his home territory of Fort McMurray in the Oil Sands Expo. Welcome to our improv little studio here. And I want to start off with, okay.
Thanks, Robbie.
You're not a politician. You're just a dad right now.
Okay.
What are two things you love to do with your little girl and the rest of your family?
Around a campfire for sure. Like, she loves marshmallows and stuff. And, you know, recently we've been working out together a little bit, watching her exercise and me exercise, and I'm trying to develop that relationship. And I've even started playing the guitar and bought her a little guitar so we can start playing the guitar together. And I've been putting off learning the guitar steady for 50 years, so I'm hoping, you know, this does it. But those are the kind of things, just about anything. Anything my daughter likes to do, I like to do. When
I see you with your daughter, you just perk up. And you're like a giant kid yourself. You're in a position where you probably don't have to be in politics. Why are you deciding to keep going at this stage in your life?
Well, there's so much work to do, Robbie. I mean, you know, the perspective from Northern Alberta and from rural Northern Alberta especially is a different perspective. And I think I bring that voice to cabinet and caucus, and I think I'm effective at it. And when I say it's different because, you know, the oil sands is up here, the natural gas is up in Grand Prairie. There's so many opportunities in rural Alberta, and if we ignore rural Alberta, we really do it at the peril of the entire province, because we're a big part of the resource income, probably, you know, somewhere between 15 to 16 billion dollars out of 18 billion is from this area, and northern rural Alberta in particular. We're a big part of the equation, and I think they need a voice there to talk about the future and how we build the future, and just a little calibration on how we build rural northern Alberta makes a big difference, not just to Alberta and the big cities of Edmonton and Calgary, but also the north, in particular the Northwest Territories and the Yukon, and the great abundance of wealth there that is jobs, really. I like to equate it as that. I want to see the future as a corridor of economic wealth between the north and Alberta, especially regarding our ability to refine and upgrade products in and around the Edmonton area and the industrial heartland, which is set up perfectly and as a world-class, world leader, inexpensive opportunity for doing that kind of thing exactly. And that means lots and lots of good paying jobs for centuries here in Alberta.
So recently we were at an event, the Premier was there for the Premier breakfast, and this was the moment. I'm actually going to pay you a huge compliment, because I mean, you're in an interesting spot, because you're one of the most important, I'm going to say the most important ministries there is, energy.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I appreciate that.
But I feel that it's a big part of the government.
Yep,
well, and it's also the economic
until
driver.
You have a health problem, or
I get it.
Yeah.
But you can't pay for health.
No.
You can't pay for doctors. You can't pay for teachers without money. And Quebec wouldn't have daycare if it wasn't for the stuff that's under our feet here.
Agreed.
At the same time, when you're
or bridges or highways, they have some of the best in the country.
100%. And you're in an interesting position, because simultaneously, and you and I are both big advocates for this region, when you go down to Calgary and you go down to even Grand Prairie, you see skyscrapers up, stuff happening.
Oh, I know.
It's been
less. It's hard to, in Houston, you go to Houston, they have less oil.
Yeah.
And we're in the same range as natural gas of them, and we're way bigger than them in lithium and titanium and vanadium and so many other products, and yet they have all the beautiful office towers, and here in particular Fort McMurray.
Yeah,
so you're looking around going like, what happens? Well, it's because the money passes us by, Robbie.
100%.
Yeah. But passes our hotels by, passes our restaurants by. I am seeing a reverse in trend.
There is.
But it might be too late for a lot of people.
So the one point, though, that I was so impressed, in the middle of her speech, the Premier, she got an aerial tour of the region. You explained certain situations with camps, but you also came up with some viable solutions. And she made the statement, and it echoed, and it really stuck, because it means that you're making a huge difference. And as your role as an MLA, forget the ministry for a second, I'm going to say I don't think I've ever seen so much success in, hey, we're not just a town that you can keep taking our money. We're a town that you need to look at. And when I'm going to tear up too, when she said that, it registered with me. So kudos on that, because that means what you're doing sticks. So I wanted to compliment you on that.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Our planning and development offices here in Fort McMurray are causing a lot of struggles for a lot of businesses and a lot of people. and they don't realize that if they take 2 weeks off for vacation and they leave their file, nobody does it, and so those people are left in limbo. And if it was just that, it would be a problem, but it's so many other things. I mentioned this to a number of people.
It should be easy to do business here. So
it's not. It should be deregulated for sure. Look at Houston, Texas. Like I talked about before.
Yes.
Incredible. They have 5-star hotels everywhere, office towers. If you own property in Houston, Texas, for the most part, you can develop whatever you need to develop and want to develop without having to ask the development department, can I have this business there? Well, you can't unless it has pink sidewalks or blue poles it's just ludicrous.
Get out of the way of business.
Yes, because they're going to build what works, or else they're not going to be in business, and somebody's going to buy that and build something that works for them. Do I feel strongly about it? Yes, I do. I think it's a big part of the future, Robbie, for us in Northern Alberta especially. We have to deregulate and unleash private capital.
And the other thing you're talking about that I'm really impressed too is like you're an outlier and a groundbreaker, and what you're doing is you're talking, why can't we have a first-class city here?
We should be a world-class city.
Why are we settling for less?
$140 billion comes out of this area every year. And we got a town that's been, the population's gone down over the last 10 years.
It's not right.
It's not right. No, I agree with you. I'm really glad you're fighting for that, Robbie. It's families, it's quality of life. It's, if we keep depleting our rural Alberta, and especially places that are so important to the foundation of our country and our province economically, it's gonna backfire on us. It's gonna be really bad.
3 things we can look forward to in Alberta right now. Give us some hope.
Well, let me tell you what I think. I think we're going to see pathways. $18 to $26 billion investment from Fort McMurray to Cold Lake. I think you're going to see an announcement on a pipeline that's going to go to the Northwest Coast. That's 1 million barrels a day, Robbie. That could get to Korea and Japan.
Yeah.
That means that oil would actually be half the carbon intensity of the current oil because of pathways. It's a great story to tell, and Korea and Japan and Europe will eat that oil up, so to say. It's exciting, but oil demand is growing, and that means all of our products have huge demand. We're going to see LNG change. We've seen the Indigenous file come along some way, and I'm very excited about that. Whether it's Cedar LNG or some of the other Indigenous projects that are going forward in partnership with others, that's the secret sauce, and that's going to carry the day. So that's number 2. Number 3, we're going to get a majority government under Danielle Smith, and I think she's going to carry on with many more good economic policies that I think are extremely good for people of Alberta. Politics is about a balancing act, and she's a great premier. She really is. I've been under Stephen Harper and other leaders before, and she's the best leader I've ever been on.
Why should someone live, move, play, relocate to Fort McMurray, Wood Buffalo?
Well, Robbie, not everybody will want to live here. That's the first thing people have to recognize. But if you like the outdoors, if you like a good paying job, if you like taking vacations and being able to afford to go to other places, to live in a good, safe community that has a low cost of living, has very affordable houses. Did I mention the great jobs? Highest paying jobs, highest household income in the country, at $210,000 a year. But it really is a good place to live, a great place to live. You've got McDonald Island here, which is an incredible rec center. If you like to snowmobile, we don't have fences here. We don't have that kind of thing here. You don't have like barbed wire fences like they do down south in other provinces. People don't recognize that. So you can go from here to the Arctic Ocean, you can go from here to Saskatchewan, and you can do it by snowmobile, and it takes 2 or 3 hours. You can go by boat all the way to the Arctic Ocean. And you can do the same thing to Saskatchewan, except that it's a bit bumpy in the last 5 kilometers or so because there's lots of rocks. And you can go all the way down the Athabasca. Like, you can go to a lot of different places and see no one ever, except for wolves and bears and all those other things that are not scary, are incredible in the wildlife. And I love the outdoors. I love the bush, and my family does too. So, for us, it's a no-brainer to live here, and I think a lot of families feel that way too.
Thank you.
Thanks, Robbie.